It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on HabsCast.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dick Irvin. What a great day to talk hockey. I've been watching hockey since 6 a.m. this morning. I was watching two Olympic games, kind of flipping back and forth, trying to see, about halfway through the Finland game, I said, well, Cappy's dressed, but he must be getting splinters because he wasn't getting any shifts. None. He got zero ice time. Nothing like at least Coop, when he dresses an extra forward, he plays him some, right? Not that Finnish coach. No wonder they were trying to get Paul Maurice into friggin' to coach that team. But no shifts for Cappy today. But Finland did bounce back. I have to say Eric Holla played better. So hey, I guess it's just going to be a learning experience this year for the youngest player on the Finnish team. Cappy's 22. I suppose we should just be happy that he got invited. Of course, I watched the Slovakia game. It was going on at the same time, so I spent most of the time. Hey, Kenny Pedro, how are you? And hello, Ken. Hello, Drum Dude. I hope a bunch of people can join us here on this Friday night. I figured I'd do one Friday night. What the heck? After the Laval game, Laval won 6-1 today. Fowler, another win, 8-1 in his last 9, folks. He's had 8 consecutive starts. In his last 5, he's I think he's over 925 now, his save percentage. So he's looking good. I guess the new goalie coach isn't hurting either, right? Since he's come in, Fowler's been excellent. But getting back to the Slovakia game this morning, they won again. They're going to make the next round. It's just a matter of whether they'll get a bye or have to play in that first round in the of the playoffs for the Olympics. But good, 2 straight wins for them to start the tournament. Had their hands full with Italy. I expected that. These teams compete and they've got good goalies, and if you got a good goalie, you can stay in games. But Slaf with another point. He was tied for the point lead with Dahlin and one other player, I believe, going into the Canada match at 3 today. And some kid named Connor McDavid went and had 3 points, and he jumped ahead of Slaf. But I guess being second to Connor McDavid isn't that bad, I suppose, in points at the Olympics. Hey, second overall in points, or I think probably still, that's not bad for a 21-year-old, right? Slaf was all over the ice again today. He's just he's doing it all for that Slovakian team. I'm a bit surprised he's not wearing a letter, because he's definitely one of the leaders on that team. There's no doubt about that. Canada, and then Canada played the Saft. Hey, Switzerland, it's not easy to score 5 goals on Switzerland. They play they've got some really good defensemen and play a defensive style. Connor McDavid is just he's been beasting. I think he hasn't won a Stanley Cup yet, but he'll make do for now with winning an Olympic gold. I think he's hungry. You can see that. And they moved. I didn't think it was Suzuki's best game today, and he even sat out a couple of rotations there late in the game, which I didn't really disagree with. I didn't think Susie was He had a turnover in the first that almost led to the first goal against. Little quiet tonight, and I think Johnny Cooper saw that and thought, well, we'll move McKinnon up to the top line. I don't like that. I don't mind that. Top line for McKinnon. McKinnon, Celebrini, and McDavid. What, top 3 scorers in the league? Put them on the line together. Not bad, right? What? Why not? It's not like the other teams can't produce. You know, that line can be the difference maker in any game. So I don't mind that. I don't mind loading it up with the 3 most skilled players in hockey on the same line. They can be something else. So the 3 current franchise players, and then backed up by Sid, of course. That's really become the second line. Crosby, with McKinnon off of that line, that becomes your second line, and they have played like the second line. Crosby, Marner, and Stone. Stone even had a breakaway today. He's playing better than he did. He's playing better than he did in the Four Nations last year. He seems to have a little more. He's able to keep up with the pace better this time around. I guess hasn't been as injured or whatever, a little better shape, but Stone has been fine. I mean, he's such a smart player, right? And Marner, another really solid game from him. Crosby has just been a beast. What a leader. He wants, between McKenna and Crosby, I just can't see them not. You can see that those guys are driven to win this whole thing. And the US has a hell of a team, but at the end of the day, I just think that those 2 are going to lead Canada to glory. By the end of this tournament, no team has looked as good as Canada so far. That's for sure. Mark's on board. Thank you, Mark, for the $5 donation. It's always much appreciated. We're getting a half decent crowd out here. 54. I don't know what's going on with X lately. All of us, like, suddenly there's hardly anybody that watches on X. They must have changed something. It says there's like 7 live viewers on X. Maybe they changed it so it's not, it's the actual number of viewers and not however it was done before. But interesting that there's 52 watching on YouTube and 7 on X, and it's usually flipped it in the past, but the last 3 or 4 podcasts, it's been flipped the other way. Used to be inverted. That's fine. The more people that are, I want everyone to come and watch the podcasts on YouTube. But Logan Thompson in nets, I thought Thompson was good, was solid. He had to make a few good saves. Kind of when the game was still close, kind of kept things in line there. Drum to McDavid with the 6-speed transmission, everyone else with only 5. Boy can skate. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Drum dude, he is he's special. And Celebrini looking good. Yeah, today especially, I didn't think he was as good in the first game, but today, he was really good. So I thought the big 3, that first line and Sid look like they're driving the team, right? Now, anyways, Laval 6-1. Fowler is on quite a roll here. Like I say, 8 consecutive starts, but now 8-1 in his last 9. All he does is win games, right? 925 save percentage in his last 5. Gave up 1 on 24 shots tonight. Just quickly go over the Delgaizo from Jackeye, Farrell from Belzile early in the second to make it 2-0. Belzile got his 22nd. He was a nice to bring him back. He's been excellent. Engstrom, Blais got the assists on the power play. Nate Clerman with his first. Blais and Trudeau with the assists. Graham Clark made it 4-1, but it was never in doubt. Owen Beck popped another one in the third. He was flying out there tonight. I liked his game. Samuel Blais, 4th goal from Condata. So 3 points for Sammy Blais tonight. He was a great addition to the I'm glad that he cleared waivers because he's really going to help. He's really going to help for sure. At the end of the game, there was some crap. A few guys got unsportsmanlike conducts and misconducts and just nothing major. But Tyler Thorpe got in another fight tonight. Give him another year, folks. He'll be a going concern power forward in this league. I think one more year. He's just a kid, going up against men. He'll need a little more time, but Laval now is 62 points, which leads the North Division by 6 over Syracuse. They're on a 5-game win streak, 7-2-1 in their last 10. Plus 22 or 32 in the goal differential. So they're not only winning, they're winning by significant margins. 660 win percentage, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th best in the AHL this year. But as usual, the North Division's pretty strong. There's 5 teams with a 578 win percentage or higher, but Laval's been on top all year, and I don't suspect that that's going to change much as the season goes on. Interesting stat for Laval is that they're right up there in penalty minutes too. They're 3rd. Who's been playing better? Who's skating better? I got to watch. I was bouncing back and forth between Laval and the Michigan game tonight, and I've got the Hage assists and shootout goal highlights. I'll show you in a minute, but I thought Florian Jackeye skating better, playing better. I've liked his game lately, and I think he's starting to come on again. I hope he has a really good offseason and comes back next year and really fights for a spot in the lineup, because the Canadiens, I think, need some of that grit, size and grit in there. Zharovsky today picked up. Hey Dave, thanks for that $10 super sticker. I really appreciate it, my friend. Good to see it's good to see you showing up here and watching the podcast. Zharovsky this morning got an assist, a secondary assist on a Kuznetsov goal. He's now officially the youngest ever KHLer at 18 years of age. He's got the most points by a KHLer in his 18 year. So year that he spent the majority of it at 18 years of age. I'm just curious if he's had his birthday yet. I think this is the month, right, that he turns 22nd. So he did it before. He did it like legitimately all before the age of 18. There were some that turned 19 in their draft year who were on the list that I've put up before, but so all before the age of 19, the most points ever by an 18-year-old in the KHL in a season. So good for him. Really happy that Zharovsky broke that record. I mean, I don't know if you saw it, but I did a video last week on Zharovsky. Nice to see him get an even strength point, because just about all of his points have been coming on the power play. But I wasn't that impressed with his even strength play when I looked at him last week. I guess he's playing with Kuznetsov. I hope the laziness doesn't rub off on him, because he certainly wasn't competing very hard away from the puck that game. But hopefully just maybe hitting a bit of a wall, with him not used to playing in a men's league. There's so many games and all that stuff. I mean, it happened to Demi last year too. There were a couple stretches where, he didn't look quite as active as he had before. But Pickford's still not back. I'm going to have Guy Flaming, who has a pipeline show. He also does color for Edmonton Oil Kings broadcasts in the WHL. I'm gonna have Guy on Monday, and I'm gonna ask him about Pickford, Western League guys. He has a draft prospect show that he does that's great, and so he keeps a close eye on the draft eligible kids, but also on kids that have been drafted in the WHL. So I want to get some feedback from Guy on Monday. So I hope you can tune into that. But Logan Sawyer has also been. I featured him last week, and I'm going to do a Logan Sawyer feature this week. Stay tuned for that. I'll put that up on the website. I didn't get a chance to check his stats today. Minnesota, no points for Middlestat or Mooney tonight. I'm just quickly looking here to see. Cornell 1-1 in the shootout. Let me just see here. Oh, okay. Wasn't Cornwall in nets tonight. Providence lost 4-2. And Sawyer had 1 assist. So he keeps putting up the points. He's had a good solid year. Put on a lot of pounds, and it's paid off, because I know when he first got drafted, he was, this kid's weak. He needs to put on some beef. But yeah, hit job. Whoever you are there, buddy, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, man. I watch a game, I take the clips. If the clips are bad that game, I'm not going to say, oh, look at how fantastic he is. You want to call it a hit job? Whatever. Don't go troll somewhere else, all right? Yeah, let's have a look at the Hage highlights. We'll just he had three helpers, and then let me just see if I can reverse this here. Okay. Here he gets the puck. Primary assists here galore. And look at this when he's in the corner, brings it out. Nice feed. And here's the shootout goal. Does he have a nasty deke or what? Check this out. Yeah. But he had all three of his assists were primary, I do believe. This one here. He gets the puck here and just look at that pass, eh? Goalie out to lunch, right? And then this one here, this nice move, puck possession, and then the beautiful pass over to Barnett. And then won it in the shootout. Thank you very much. But that was head-to-head tonight against Gavin McKenna. And Gavin didn't score in the shootout. Hage did. Gavin didn't have a point. Hage had 3. So, head-to-head, the consensus first overall pick. Well, not the consensus of first overall pick, but the expected first overall pick was definitely outclassed by Michael Hage tonight. Really like the way Hage is playing. Super game from him. He was a lot better than McKenna tonight. Yeah, he's a couple of years older, so he's expected to be, but he didn't go first overall either, right? So I like both him and Sawyer. I like the off seasons that they had. They put on weight. They put it on well, like good weight, and they're both a lot more physical this year and competing harder, playing well away from the puck. Canadiens have made some tremendous draft picks under the new regime, and it's very encouraging. Fowler, 915 goal save percentage now. Yeah, well, 925 in his last 5, 8-1 in his last 9, and 8 consecutive starts. So it's all good. By the way, folks, this guy right here, remember him? You old enough to remember this guy? I am. I remember it came back. He had a back injury, came back, and he proceeded to have a 5-goal game. I don't know if a Habs player has had a 5-goal game since. It's not very common, and I was a young lad, but it was pretty impressive. But the Roadrunner, he gets his logs. He gets his logs from Logs End. And what's Logs End? Well, what they do is they take logs out of the Ottawa River, turn them into beautiful wide plank flooring, and Yvan got his whole house redone with Logs End flooring, and he couldn't have been happier. So why don't you check out their website, logsend.com, and have a look at their beautiful stuff. And if you like what you see and you get in touch, tell them that Grant and Yvan sent you, and they'll look after you. But we got a decent crew in the house here tonight. 82. But back to prospects there. Like I say, Pickford's still out. Hopefully, I asked Guy to do some digging. Their teams are, how it is. They pretty hush hush, giving you details of just upper body day to day. But frig, it's been day to day for 3 weeks now. But he said he'd do a little bit of digging, and hopefully on Monday when Guy's on, he'll be able to give us a little more information. I looked at his last game, and he finished the game. So I don't know if this happened off the ice or practice or during the game, but it didn't. He played the rest of it because he was on right to the end of the game. Maybe I'll have to go through all of the shifts, and maybe I can find or see what perhaps happened. But Donnie from up north, way up north. Thank you, Don, for the $10. And yes, go Canada, go. I don't know. I think they're going to win there. It's pretty apparent, I think, that Canada's going to win their group and get right into the quarterfinals. Wouldn't want to be facing them quarterfinals, I'll tell you that much. I just I have a hard time seeing this team lose a game. Just too much firepower. My goodness. And the defense is playing fine. The worries that we had with Doughty and Harley and Parayko, and I think they're all playing just fine. Let's get to some. Simo, Laval Rocket got a legit team to win the Calder Cup. Yeah, one of the top 6 in win percentage, and they're in a good division, so maybe they're even top 4 team. But I think with the setup, they'll probably come out of. They'd be the favorites to come out of the North Division, and hopefully they don't get bamboozled by a veteran team like last year, right? Where they came up against a veteran, tough, competitive team that kind of schooled them. But hopefully they'll get some reinforcements too by playoff time, right? That help with the help them win the game. I'm gonna see if I can find out. I imagine Papanicus is playing tonight. What do we got here for stats? Kelowna. All right. They're only 10 minutes in, so Kelowna just scored a goal. Don't know if he was in on it or not. I'll let you know. Yeah, Francois, just as I was saying there, most points by an 18-year-old. We were just waiting for him to get that. He was tied with Tolvanen, I believe it was, all time, and just beat the record. There's no doubt that he's a skilled player, but you got to be able to check. And that video I did was more than fair when it came to that. It's a reality of hockey, folks. You've got to be able to compete. And I'm not thrilled with his. I haven't seen improvements. In fact, I've seen regression in his play away from the puck this year. And hey, the sooner he gets over to North America, as far as I'm concerned, the better. So and that's that's the other risk you have today. What if he signs another deal? Like a guy like Kaprizov. Don't forget he he didn't come over. He didn't come over. Yeah, he signed like two deals in Russia, and there's pressure too, right? These guys do get pressured to stay, and I mean, you're already there. It's there is a certain amount of pressure. All right, here was a while back, but now, as you see, with 2 more points, he's got 37 now as an 18-year-old. Tolvanen had 36, Kuznetsov 32, Kaprizov had 27, Tarasenko 24, Daniel Boot 21, Michkov 20, Buchnevich 18, Surin 14. So some pretty good company there, right? Yeah, he's playing in the weaker division and conference, but still at that age to put up those kind of points, the upside, as noted the other day, is up here. It's just that the floor, is down here, and we gotta hopefully he gets closer to the ceiling than the floor at the NHL level. That will be what we have to hope for. And Kenny Pedro saying, apparently there is interest from the better teams to maybe pick him up. Yeah. Also may not get as much ice time too, right? There, I mean, there can be good and bad in that. Like if he goes to a good team and he is lackadaisical away from the puck as he has been in some games I've watched, he won't, there'll be won't be getting a pile of ice time. So I don't know. One more year where he is, get over to North America, get him into the AHL. Hopefully in a couple of years, AHL experience come up and he's ready to help the team both ends of the ice. Got to get stronger though and improve his skating. But you got to love his offensive upside. Well, Grant, did you see the Hage shootout goal tonight? He completely undressed the goalie. Well, why don't we show it again, Carlo? Yes, indeed. Not just that, his friggin' like this pass here. Oh, I'll back it up just a bit. Right there. Beauty. And then this one to tie it up. Ho, 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 ho. Nice. And then Habs could use that in their shootout lineup, couldn't they? Yeah, I think we're gonna see Mr. Hage at the end of this year, folks. I'd be damn surprised if the Canadiens don't. Hey Grant, did you hear the Marchand story from the other game? He gave kudos to Tom for a huge hit. Wilson answered that was Dave-O. I've never seen McDavid hit like that. He's very hungry. Yeah. McDavid had a huge hit. Well, that's how he started the tournament. He went out. He flew over early, right? They were saying that today on the broadcast. Flew over early. You can just see, like, he's all business. And I like the quote from McKinnon too. I'm not here to enjoy myself. I'm here to friggin' win. I mean, those two guys are very competitive. And Sid, well, we know all about Sid. I can't see those guys being denied. I really can't. The Sakukovu move, right-handed shot. Yeah. Yeah, it was a beauty. I'm barely old enough, but the Roadrunner was awesome. Absolutely. And one of the best nicknames too, right? Do I think Sammy Harris will be an AHLer or an NHLer? I don't think he'll be an NHLer, Simo. Certainly not with Montreal. Yeah. You could see Ivan when he had his brasserie in Lachine. Yeah, well, kind of wish that I had been around Montreal back in those days. I would have certainly stopped in and said good day. Had some drafts with Ivan and all the gang. Oh, geez, Kelowna's getting smoked here. I don't know. Kelowna is they're losing 3-1. I don't know how much of a host they're going to be, representative they're going to be for the Memorial Cup, the way things are going. Just having a look here, they're 61 points, which is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tied for 8th best in the WHL in points. That's not great. I would suspect they're going to add a couple of more even. They have been adding players, but they're still not great. I could see them still adding a couple more players. Movies to share. I mean, take a rocket scientist to say, oh, McDavid, Celebrini. Like, believe me, you weren't the only one that suggested McDavid and McKinnon and Celebrini play together. So I wouldn't be patting myself on the back too hard about that. I'm a little concerned about Canada's defense. Matheson and Dobson should both be in there. No, I don't. One goal against in 2 games. What are you concerned about? I have been more than pleased, and that's without Morrissey, who to me is their second best defenseman. I'm not worried about the defense. It's been Harley has stepped up and played great. Doughty has all the questions about, oh, he might be too old, too slow. No, Doughty's been fine. Pareko's been fine. Top pairing, Taves and McCagg, or well, no surprise there. They've been excellent. So not maybe if there were concerns going in to the tournament about the defense, I'm a lot less concerned than I was 5 days ago. From what I've seen, so far so good. So, and I mean, it's not like Sweden. I mean, Sweden could barely score against one of the lower teams in the tournament. Finland, they could only score 1 goal against Slovakia, and Sweden scored 1 goal today. Like, there are no the only team that looks to have decent offensive firepower and that could possibly match up with Canada as far as offense goes really are the Americans. So, unless Canada ends up meeting the US in the semis, I don't see anyone giving them much of a battle until the gold medal game presumably against the U.S. How did Cale Makar do today? Well, same as he does every day. He's one of the best defensemen in the world, if not the best. Not someone I worry about, Cale Makar. If he has a bad game, that's one, and he comes back and has a great one the next. I've never seen Cale Makar have 2 bad games in a row, so you just hope that it's, one of them doesn't come in the gold medal contest, right? But anyone got some questions for me? I'm not gonna stay on here too long. I'm caught up in the live chat. Freaking Kelowna. I don't know. Since Papanicus has come back from his injury, he has not looked that great. So I just hope it's not. I hope he can get going, because Kelowna really needs him. Needs him to be rolling. Dauphin is leading the AHL in points, by the way. 53 points. And Belzil's 10th. So 2 players in the top 10 in scoring, which is nice. Other than that, there's decent balance. Farrell is 39th, 36 points. But the team's stepping up. The Habs hopefully are going to have 2 teams in Montreal this spring playing well into May. Wouldn't that be nice? It's been a long time, hasn't it? When's the last time both the Habs? Well, it's never happened in Montreal, where the farm team and the Habs were playing in Montreal and playing in May. I don't think that's never happened, has it? I know when the Habs went to the Cup final there, that wasn't in May. All right. Well, we can keep this one short. I guess people aren't having much to say. As Mark said, don't forget to hit the like. I would like that a lot. If you don't mind, hit the like button. Mboko won again today. Felix. Any tennis fans out there? The curling controversy. Swedes and Canadiens getting at it. F-bombs all over the place. I don't know. Like, really? As the stone's at the hog line, he touches it with his finger. Like, anyway, why the Swedes would get all upset over that, but the Canadian, I guess maybe overreacted, but you see a lot of comments and Swedes weighing in and stuff. I thought Canadians were supposed to be nice. Yeah, well, unless you piss us off. Like, remember the World Wars? People got to know didn't like when they saw pissed off Canadians during the wars. They got a glimpse into, yeah, we may be polite and we may be friendly, but don't cross us. Elbows get up in a hurry. Would I consider trading Reinbacher in a second for Parayko? I would not. Absolutely not. Why? 2 years' time, Reinbacher is better than Parayko. So why would you trade him now? It's not like this team has a 1-year window here that this is the year that they can win and that's it. No, absolutely not. And, folks, the Canadiens are not, there aren't that many untouchables in the prospect pool, but right at the very top of that list, and there's people that, I don't know, because the media doesn't have a clue sometimes, some of the people in the media, and they, that's, Reinbacher's the most untradeable player in the Montreal Canadiens farm system. He's the number one prospect, and he is the most untouchable prospect in the organization. It's not like that's a fact. I know it, and trust me on that. Yeah, this year's wide open, but you can get a good defenseman that can be plugged in there. That's not going to cost you Reinbacher. First of all, Pareko's not available, so why do you let's really overpay to get him? Well, no, Canadiens aren't overpaying that crazy amount on a defenseman when they could get probably a White Cloud, maybe a Connor Murphy, who I like just as much. So, no. Oh, BAMME. Thanks for the podcast, Grant, from a fan living in Vietnam. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Somebody in Vietnam that's tuning in. It must be what, around 10 o'clock in the morning in Vietnam right now. Good morning, Vietnam, and thanks for tuning in. Habs aren't ready for the Cup this year, but you don't want to give up better young talent that you can control money-wise to advance the next round. Yeah, well, they aren't trading Reinbacher, and I keep guys in the media bring it up, but I'm telling you, it ain't happening. Oh, it's 10:38. Okay, that's pretty cool. Pretty sure Hughes isn't on vacation right now. Got work to do, but I think this offseason will be a big moment in the rebuild. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't make a trade, so it's not like he's real busy right now, but no, I'm sure he's not sitting on a beach and turning off his phone for 2 weeks, but hey, there'll be lots of talk the week leading up to the trade deadline. It's going to be crazy, and there'll be every rumor in the book. Habs are after Kyrou. Habs are going to trade Reinbacher. Habs is, don't take it all with a grain of salt, because people want clicks. They want people, and that's one thing I've never done is throw out baseless rumors just for the sake of getting people to tune in. Like, I just, you can maybe get a big amount of people showing up for that podcast or that broadcast, but it doesn't, in the long run, it doesn't help your reputation, and it's just, it's clickbait basically. Kadri incoming. Yes, Kadri for Kapanen and Reinbacher. Kadri and Coleman and White Cloud for Kapanen and Reinbacher. No thanks. I agree with you about Reinbacher being untouchable, but hopefully Hage is a close second. Oh, I don't think Hage. Hage, Fowler, and Reinbacher, they're not being traded this. Like, 99.7% on that. You know, I imagine Zharovsky's close to those three too in that category. Don't see them trading Pickford either, but I mean, perhaps if they really get a good player in return, Pickford's part of a deal. But no, I think Engstrom, back, the usual suspects, Struble, draft picks, those are the kind of guys that have value and will fetch a good return. I hope Cappy gets a chance to play. Don't understand why they're benching him. Well, I mean, yeah, they beat Sweden today, so I guess you can't argue with it too much. Hey, he's the youngest player. The 12 forwards that they are playing are all decent. Veterans. They've played for the national team more times probably than Cappy has. But after the first game, I thought they'd play him, but they stepped up and they beat the Swedes. So, I can't be too vociferous in my complaints against them because they won. So, but yes, I do hope he gets a chance to play, Mark, for sure. Well, he went from the press box to the bench. Hopefully, the next game it's to the ice, right? We'll see. Canada does a little differently. They don't sit guys on the bench for an entire 60 minutes. And I don't necessarily believe in that either. It's kind of a asshole-ish thing to do. That's like a Mike Babcock. Like, this guy could be the Mike Babcock of Finland. It's a Babcock kind of move to, oh yeah, well, you get to dress and then just have the guy sit there the entire game. Not impressed by that. Included Habs and trade talk, increase your click for sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll talk about it, but I'm not, I don't pretend to be an insider, and a lot of people do, I don't go that route with make up rumors and my sources say, yeah, okay, yeah, your sources. Hage wants to be a Hab. Looking forward to him on the big team. Yeah. Well, that's just it, right? I would put Hage very close to Reinbacher on the not being traded list. Certainly not this year. Hell, he can come in and help. He's going to sign with the club at the end of the year and help, and hopefully help them this playoff. So, only trade I would do is for multiple A prospects versus a better prospect. Yeah. Well, yeah, but Columbus isn't trading at Fantilli, so those type, that trade's not happening. So thus, you're not going to see Hage, Zharovsky, or Reinbacher being dealt. I said I did a video on Zharovsky. Ooh, you're staring right at me. Yep, I did. Last week. You can find it pretty easily. Look in my video section there under live podcasts. My playlist, you'll see it. Major QC. Chen, Thomas, Pareko, Kadri, Marchessault, and Crosby all coming to Montreal. If you believe the trade rumors, Simo, absolutely. Every last one of them. We're up to 94. Oh, back down to 88. Kind of bounces back and forth there. Let's see if we can't crack 100 folks here on the YouTube. If you're watching on X, come on over to the YouTube channel and join in the live chat. We're starting to get some people talking here finally after a little bit of a lull, a little bit of a hiatus there. Yeah, fans think they're playing GM in EA Sports or PlayStation, as our good friend Bergie used to do, right? Once again, Mark, thank you for the donation. As always, your Dave, appreciate the $10, buddy, and Donnie, same deal. Thank you so much, gentlemen. It's keeping me going here in a little bit of a slow period when I'm not doing any post game Habs. But I figured I'd do a show after, well, I watched Slovakia, watched a bit of the Finn Swedes because that's a good battle always. Watched Canada, and then flip back and forth between Laval, but mostly Michigan against Penn State. And Hage, as I say, looked better. He looked better than McKenna tonight for what that's worth. I just love this move that he made on the the old Koivu move, as somebody said, and then this assist too was a beauty. Brings it in. That reminds me of like what was cool here. Okay, he goes around and then just the little dish on the other side of the defenseman's skates, but between the goalie's stick and the defenseman's skate, right onto Barnett's, like right on the tape. Just a beautiful pass, and that tied things up. So 3 primary assists out of their 4 goals, and then the only goal in the shootout. Michael Hage. Gavin McKenna stopped. Hage, beauty. So stepping up big. Well, once again, Michael Hage. I'm going to quickly pull up the stats here because I bet you he is. Yes, he is. He is now tied for 4th in scoring. 40 points in 29 games. I like that. Points per game. Michael Hage is 3rd. 3rd in college hockey in points per game. That's pretty sweet, isn't it? And you know how great he was on his playmaking, right? Playmaking in like set a record for assists at the for a Canadian prospect at the World Juniors. Well, he is leading. He's the leading an assist per game in the in college. So the guy's a primo playmaker. But as you saw by that shootout goal, he's also able to score some nice ones. I don't see Hage being traded. No. I think it was more likely 4 months ago than it is now, because we've seen him go like this, and we've seen Cappy fill the second line center spot. So this notion that the Canadiens have to find a top 2 center with the development of Hage and Kapanen, no, I don't think. I think that that's not something that's on the table for the Habs, unless something, drops into their lap and they can't refuse. My wish list to get a player for the first line would be Timo Meier. Oh yeah, because he threw 2 big hits tonight. Not a little bit of recency bias there, is there? Yeah, well, he's not likely to be dealt either, right? I don't see it. Devils, like he's not that old. Still in his 20s, so he's part of that, you know. Devils aren't far away. They just got to retool here, and they just got Meier not that long ago. I don't see him going anywhere. But yeah, he'd be nice to have. Do I think Beck has the potential to be a 3C? Yeah, well, I always did, but maybe. Might not be in Montreal though. Could be elsewhere. But sure, that's his upside. Like if everything goes well with him, yeah. 3C's his ceiling. AHLer is his floor. So trying to figure out how Engstrom fits into the equation if he would earn a spot. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Reinbacher takes Carrier's spot eventually here, but when Carrier's leaving, Reinbacher will be in. You know, I see Mathis, or I see Engstrom as the main trade chip here. His value's at an all-time high. I expect him to be traded at the deadline here. Maybe I'm wrong, but my expectation is that he's the main piece that that Hughes is willing to part with here to get a veteran, a big physical veteran right shot defenseman. Like you don't. With incoming prospects and what the Habs already have in the roster, I can't see Beck being any more than a 4th liner. Well, no, not with Montreal, but I don't think he was necessarily saying, he said to be a 3C, not a 3C with Montreal, right? Lessons history. There's Murray. Hage move looks like Demidov. Yeah. Promising player and team can't wait for next year. Yes, absolutely. Evans is expendable. Yeah, for sure. I've mentioned that. Still have that video to do for my Patreon subscribers. Gonna do it, get it up over the next 2 or 3 days. Always ends up being finding things that keep you busy, even when I'm not doing a podcast every day. But yeah, I like this Fowler in his last 5 games or 6 games. He's given up 1 goal 3 times, 2 goals 2 times, and 4 goals once. So 6, 8, 10, 11 goals in his last 6 games. Nice to have goals against average below 2. And his save percentage, as I say, in those games is like 925, 926. 3 of the games at 952, 957, 958. His last 2 games, he saved 957 and 958. So and given up 2 goals. Impressive. Fowler is the other guy that I think the Canadiens don't have any intentions on getting rid of. Geez, why are so many people wanting this Parayko guy? No, I don't trade Goulet for Parayko. I like Goulet just as much as Parayko. So, and he's 8 years younger. No, I wouldn't do it, Donnie. Do I predict Fowler to be the starter next year? Oh, I don't know. I'm no goalie expert. Maybe he might be starter next year. I mean, it's hard to say. Ask me in the off season, right? It'll be a lot. Will be. I mean, this is when the games get important. Whoever's good in the playoffs, whoever plays in the playoffs, will be the starter to start next year, I would think. Unless, whoever starts absolutely sucks and Fowler wins the Calder Cup, then it could be Fowler. Today I watched a couple videos with Trade Chatter and I don't get all the talk about Kyrou. No, well, because there's rumors, right? So people gotta, I don't like to, I'm not going to do a show about unrealistic potential trade players that could get traded because there's been rumors on social media. Because I don't believe this 4 times that the Canadiens have kicked the tires on Kyrou. I don't believe it. I don't. I think it's false information. That's what I think. I don't believe it. That's not what they need. They're not making a trade. Why get more of the same? Why, and Hughes has come right out and said it, and Gordon has said it too. They know that they need to add some grit and some size and some. That's not Jordan Kyrou. They're third in the league in scoring. They don't need to add a 70-point perimeter player that doesn't hit. That's not what they need. It's the last thing they need. It just I much prefer Doc on the top line with Suzuki and Caulfield to Jordan Kyrou. So why would you trade for him when you already got a guy that it's more suited to? Was a top 3 pick. He's 6'4". He's physical. It just doesn't make any sense. And then there's the contract, the age, there's this group here that's going to win going to contend for the next 5 years. And you're getting a guy in his late 20s with a big contract when you got Hage, who could be better than him in 2 years. So it just doesn't make any sense if you really think about it. And whoever coming up with these friggin' trade rumors isn't thinking about it. But hey, my sources say, oh, well, then let's, podcasters, oh, well, that guy's sources say, then it must be true. Well, whatever. Yesterday, Demi said he wants to work on his one-timer to score more goals. He was doing just that at Brassard the last couple of days. Yeah, well, hello. Did he not pay attention to Lane in the off season? The only missing piece for me, not to undermine Kapanen, but a center same age as Slaf, Demi, that would take the 1C from Suzuki in 2-3 years. Yeah. Why does Susie have to have the center taken in 2-3 years. Suzuki, who's on the Olympic team, in the top 9 on the Olympic team, 26 years of age, 97 point scorer, has increased his captain of the team, has increased his total every year. You want to get a guy that can replace him in 2 to 3 years? Not me. You know what the price would be for that? There's like 5-6 centers on the planet that, and you think any of them are available? Demi was on the ice with Doc. I think it shows they're both hungry. Yeah. I like Doc being out on the ice during this break, right? Like that, to me, Demi, that's no surprise, whatever. He's like Hudson, like they're rink rats, right? But Doc being out on the ice during this, like that to me speaks volumes. It really does. I mean, hey, he's missed the last 2 years, most of the last 2 years. He's getting it. All right, I gotta get in shape. I gotta be in great shape here. Yeah. And again, you got to think of the other team here. What would possess a Nashville that is 2 or 3 years away to trade its best young player? Zero. There's zero logic in it. You have to, when I wish I had this. Oh, I wish you Fantilli and Matthew Wood. Oh, why, McTavish, all the people that, oh, he hasn't signed a, like, I got tired of answering that one too. Yeah, just say, you're not getting McTavish. He's going to sign with Anaheim. He's not going anywhere. Matthew Wood's not being traded by Nashville. He's not. He's part of the future. That's like Hage being traded. Reinbacher being traded. It makes as much sense from the Canadian standpoint as it does from Nashville. So, no. Oh, we're up to 98. 2 more. We only need 2 more folks on here. Hop on over from X. I see you guys. 42 of you. Well, yeah. No, this is more realistic, Ken. Yes, Celebrini, I think. And that's the guy who was saying there, somebody that can take over Suzuki in 2-3 years. Yes, Celebrini. I think that's the best plan, right? Bedard or Celebrini. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll send an email in to Kenny Hughes, Jeff Molson, say, that's the guy. Those are the guys that you need to get. Hey, we had 100. Finally. Da-da-da-da. Chime in here, folks. You got me pretty wound up here with all the silly trade rumors. Susie is better than, yeah, no. Oh God. Yeah. Okay. I was joking, right? So, okay. Just so you know. Yeah. Like, let's not start going down a rabbit hole here now. Right. Susie is better than Bedard. I agree. And we're not getting Bedard. So it's immaterial, Mark. Okay, bring them on. Quick. I'm out of water here. should have got a beer. People are a little gun shy now because they only want to bring up like Matthew Woods and Mason McTavish and Adam Fantilli, Will Cooley. Nobody going to bring him up, who the Rangers aren't going to trade. McDavid, yeah, that'd be a good ad, eh? I'd consider giving up Reinbacher. You know, if you get McDavid, yeah, maybe I'll do a show on that. You know, my sources say that the Canadiens have been kicking the tires on Connor McDavid. I'll get about 20,000 views, 21,000 that would never come back again, but I'd get it. I'd set records. Oh, here's T. T, you're on X. Get over here. Thanks. Thanks, T. Huge kudos on your video this summer. Predicting captain would be a Fido fit as our number 2. And sure enough, you were spot on. Thank you. Well, I mean, yeah, fit for now. Don't know if he'll be 2 down the road, but when I looked at this year's roster, I didn't see a better option. I wanted to see Kapanen with Demidov. That just made sense to me. Donnie boy, beer money, Labatt 50. There you go. Yeah, I should go get a beer, right? Don, tell you what, for you doing that, my friend, if people want to ask some questions while I'm gone for 2 minutes here, I'm going to go get a pint. Anybody flipping out yet? And I'm back. One comment. Holy frick. Gonna have to have more than one comment every 3 minutes here, folks. Huh. There we go. Duck can become a solid top 6 winner if he plays with 2 layers of bubble wrap. Oh, no, whatever. People bring up past injuries to me. Yeah, I know. I get sick of it. Get sick of those lessons in history. Yeah, it's a little frozen. Out in the garage, I guess, all that cold weather. How did you guess, Don? Where will Hage play? First line. Hugh Grant. Dave Brown calling me Hugh Grant. Thank you. Thank you, Dave. I wish I had Hugh Grant's money, height, British accent, acting ability. My podcast would probably have higher numbers too if I was Hugh Grant. Where will Hage play? Oh, they're trading for Hage, are they, Dave? You mean Michael Hage, I guess? Sorry, I'm being a bit of a smartass there, David. Yeah. Eventually, I think he has first line potential, but he could be third line center, could be second line center, it could be first line winger, could be second line winger. I don't think he'll be a third line winger, but anywhere from first line winger to third line center, I think. If he's ends up being a third line winger, the Canadiens got a hell of a team. Grant, thoughts on Selke winner this year? I think Mr. Suzuki has a chance at both the Selke and the Lady Byng this year. Hopefully he wins. Hopefully he wins the Selke. Lady Byng's not, not one that you strive to see necessarily, but I mean, they give it to means you're a good player, right? They don't give it to crappy players. So. But he only has like 4 minor penalties this year. Yeah, Donnie, you figured it out. I didn't want to get it all over the keyboard. I love Doc's potential on the first line. Yes, I do too. As long as he doesn't get injured. Thanks, Grant. Gotta go. Have a good night, folks. Just got word an old friend, coworker, isn't going to make it through the night. Sorry to hear that, my friend. Did I get to watch Albert Smith's? Yeah, he struggled a bit. It's quite a huge jump for a kid his age. But we'll keep an eye on him. Like to see him against not a team maybe that's quite as overwhelming as the US. Do they match up better against Boston or Detroit in the first round? Jeez. You think that's who they're going to play? We'll see. I hope. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I guess Boston, but I think they can beat either one of those teams. Hugh Grant, Elizabeth Hurley. Lucky you. Yeah. 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 But hey, how nice is Elizabeth Hurley really, eh? I got myself a fine woman, so gotta be happy. Gotta be happy with that. She doesn't have as much money as Liz Hurley, but money isn't everything, right? Thanks to you folks, I've even got a few bucks. Can afford it. I can afford a beer. Cheers. Anybody else is having one Cheers. Chapo's tied 5-5 with the wife's upstairs watching Chapo. She's addicted to tennis now. I wouldn't mind maybe catching the end of that, so we won't go too late here. Fakina and Shapovalov tied 5-5. I'm excited to see our players come back from the Olympic experience, especially Slaf. He is going to take it to another level, I feel. Another level. Ooh. It's been a point per game for the last... as long as he can maintain that level, I'm good. Maybe add in a bit more hitting again. But, well, even another level at 21, I don't know, maybe. I just hope that he can keep scoring at a point per game like he has in the past month and a half. Yeah, Buffalo's definitely in the conversation. I'd rather play Detroit or oh no, I know, Donnie. I just, in case the wife ends up watching this, right? I know that's not going to happen. But I'd rather play Detroit or Buffalo. Detroit or Boston at this point than Buffalo. I don't know. They got some things going there. That defense with those freaking trees back there. Grant got here a little late. Do you have any other veteran right D you think would be a good fit as a rental? Well, same usual suspects. Nothing's changed. Not like the standings. A couple of teams have dropped out in the last week, right? NHL's not playing, so usual suspects. White Cloud, Connor Murphy, someone like that. I guess everyone keeps mentioning Prebex, who never gets any penalties. I don't know. I don't. He's not physical. He's big, but Doc having a great remaining year of the year would be nice. Time with his contract and injuries has not been ideal. Not sure if they can resign him. Well, I don't get that. Actually, the contract and injuries are ideal for the club because, well, he'll have no choice but to resign, and he can't ask for the moon, so it's actually ideal for the club. Like, I don't know if I'd sign him to a 5-year deal or something, but maybe. But he can't ask for, north of $5 million, I don't think, a year. And if he ends up being on your first line for the next 5 years, you're paying him $5 million. Sounds good to me. So they'd likely need to go through one of Buffalo, Detroit, or Boston. Then Tampa, Carolina, then Avs. Pretty tough road. If they get above 905 save percentage, you have a chance. Oh, yeah. Do you think Hughes was surprised with the return for Laine? Oh. I just get rid of him, I guess. I don't know. Only takes one, I guess. One team wants him. He can help a power play. The only team I don't want to face is Tampa. Yeah, same here. Yeah, I think we can beat the other teams too. We being the Canadiens. Buffalo, I'd rather not, but I mean, it's not. The other teams aren't out of it yet either, right? And it's tight enough that the Canadiens still could conceivably be the 8th team and play, play the top team or the second team, Carolina, in the first round. It's possible, but and I mean Ottawa, Florida aren't officially out of it yet either. I wouldn't want to face Florida, especially if Barkov's back. Wouldn't want to face them in the first round. Toronto's still in there too, so and they kind of were getting back on track. I mean, not afraid of Toronto. That'd probably be a good series. Bring them on. I think Montreal's ability and skill to beat any team in the Atlantic. Only issue is being consistent against the other teams. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Tampa would be tough, but I don't think they're unbeatable. Like, not like Liam says they don't have a hope in hell. Like, that's a little strong. I think they can beat anybody, but they will have to beat Tampa. They will need to get some reinforcements and maybe be healthy and have good goaltending. Because Vasilevsky, he can beat the Habs on his own almost. Connor Murphy has 9 total games of playoff experience. Yeah. Well, he's experienced. I don't have to have playoff experience necessarily. I mean, it's not his fault that he played on poor teams. He's got lots of NHL experience. That's what they need. Get too caught up on the playoff. I mean, Arbor Jacki has 2 playoff games experience. Connor Murphy has 9. Connor Murphy's a right defenseman. Arbor left would have to play on the right. So who do you prefer? Give me Connor Murphy. Like, beggars can't be choosers here. How many veteran right defensemen with tons of playoff experience are teams going to be just saying, oh, yeah, when there's only like 4 teams selling this year, right? I mean, if you can get Connor Murphy, get him. You'll have a lot more playoff experience after this year if you get him. Grant, do you see teams like Toronto, Florida will fall further back when play resumes? I don't know. Maybe. They may get back in the race. They may fall back. I can't predict. Like, I don't know. I don't know if Ottawa will fall back. I don't know if they'll catch. I don't know. My crystal ball is broken, folks. I am not a Nostradamus. All I know is that it's going to come down to the last week of the season for most of these teams, and it's going to be exciting as hell. Ask me about prospects. Ask me about, the draft. Ask me that stuff. I can answer. But predicting who would be the best team for Montreal to play, or who's going to get in the playoffs, or, I mean, my opinions are no more valid than yours. It's who knows? It's a crapshoot, folks. That's why they play the games. That's why it's fun. That's why it's fun to watch hockey, because it's so unpredictable, especially this year with the parity, the outrageous parity that we're seeing. Like, it's crazy. Maybe we'll even see this guy in the playoffs, folks. By the way, if you missed it, went to a shootout, Michigan, Penn State. Gavin McKenna stopped Michael Hage.
Shock in the slot. Hage shoots. Save. A rebound. Score! Perron, one-timer blocked. Hage, Hughes, score! Or just broke the tie. Hage with speed. Barnett, one-timer.
Penn State's a good team, folks. Like, that's what I'm especially impressed with Hage here now. He's doing it against good teams. You know, earlier in the year, Merrimack, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Didn't excite me that much, but 3 primary assists and the shootout winner against Penn State. You know, they score 4 goals. He has 3 primary assists. One person scores in the shootout. It's him. I like it. He's coming on. What is the roster limit when playoff time comes? Not sure. Somebody get their Google out. Excuse me, folks. I keep getting these questions, eh? Mr. Feelgood. Fangstrom is one of the prospects we can angle. Other teams see as his value. I'm not a GM of another team, so I don't know. All I know is that he has second line. He has top 4 potential. It'll depend on the team there, feel good, and you know, what do they have in the system? How much opportunity does he get? Does his coach like him? Does the coach like him? That's always important. You know, you can trade for a player, but if the coach isn't crazy about him, then he won't be 3-4D 40-point second power play QB guy. So it'll depend on the team. It'll depend on who they have, what's in the system, who they drafted, all those things. So, but can he be a 3-4D? Maybe, depend on the team. He'll have to keep improving his defensive game, play a little more physical. But he's a nice looking prospect. And I think his value is as such right now, and at such a high that now's the time to do it. I think they should be buying, and they have a surplus on left D. His value's high. I dangle him. There's no maximum roster size for the playoffs. There you go. The thing here is I don't see them calling up too many guys. They want Laval. Well, why call up guys just to have them sit, right? And Laval's right in the same city. So you can always call up a guy like that. So I can't see them with Laval being, I can't see them calling up Fowler and Reinbacher just to be their black aces or whatever. Friggin' play in Laval. If you need them, then bring them up. Call. I guess they have to have them up, though, right? I can't see them calling up too many guys. Maybe a couple from Laval, but as far as 5 or 6 guys or something like that, I think they want Laval to win, and I think they want Reinbacher and Fowler have a long AHL run. Would be my guess, but I could be wrong. Hage will be really good in 2 to 3 years. Yeah, I think so. What do you think of Pickford? Like him a lot. Tomorrow afternoon, Toronto at Laval, 3:00. Be there, be square. Yeah, that should be got to beat Toronto, right? I'll try to catch some of that game tomorrow. I just want to shit. Chapeau lost the first set. We need to get good goaltending after the break. The higher we finish, the better. Yeah, it'd be nice to get first, right? Play against the the odds of playing Boston are a lot higher if you finish first than if you finished fourth. That's for sure, or fifth. Yeah, home ice. The Bell Center is going to be absolutely nuts. Other teams find it difficult in the regular season, let alone in the spring. So here's hoping that they get home ice advantage in the first round. I think it's important, and they can ride that ride the momentum of that home crowd just being nuts, and this team being so exciting. I think that I don't think too many teams want to face Montreal in the first round in the Eastern Conference, because they can hang with it. There is a skilled, and maybe you could argue more talented than any team in the East. And talent goes a long way. Well, we got 87 people still on board here, but only Mr. Feelgood there. He's the one they call Mr. Feelgood. He's the one that's asking all the questions. He's the one they call Mr. Feelgood. Joshua Roy or Machar have a chance to make it on the Habs team, or would they be closer to throw-ins with a trade? Yeah. I think you can answer that question. Maybe Roy be a throw-in. Machar could be back in Europe in a year or two. But they're not making the Habs, no. That's not what the Canadiens don't need more undersized skill. They aren't going to be trading for a Joshua or a Messar, so that kind of tells you right there that they won't be playing on the Habs. I could see, Waugh getting an opportunity with another organization, perhaps. But as Kenny says here, he's had his chances and he hasn't been able to take advantage of it. So you move on, right? He's like a Charles Houdon type, a bubble guy, right? Not a great skater, a little undersized. Really good AHLer, but when he gets to the NHL, not an ideal bottom six guy and not good enough for your top six. So Felix, what would I prioritize in the following draft? Seamus Ignatavicius. I would prioritize Seamus or someone of that ilk. It's funny, I've had a look at Prokhorov, the Russian kid I really liked last year. I still think I think the Islanders are gonna have a beast in a couple of years. And I still kind of wish that the Habs had picked him, but anyway, they got themselves a very skilled Russian, but I still think that's the fit. That big, bruising, top 9 guy. That's what they're missing, and I wouldn't mind if they try to draft a couple of those. I think they've got a top 6 going forward, and what they need is, Lusterainen, Lindell type, like high quality third line players would be what they're missing, I think. Big, physical, wear you down, score some goals, check, do it all type guys. So Ignatavicius has goals in his last 5 games. I've been keeping a close eye on him. He's got a really good shot. Man, beast. I think if the rankings are close to what if he is available with Montreal's first round pick, perfect. I think he's the perfect add. So that type of player. There's a few in the system with potential. A few is there a potential prospect goalie other than Fowler? Yeah. Cornoyer and Miller, Croteau, Volokin. But Fowler's the main guy, and Dovish is young, so I don't see any of them having more potential at this point than Dovish, but that might change in the future. Mentioned earlier this year, but Roy had chemistry with Bedard. Yeah. How often do you see that, right? Two guys played well together on the World Junior or something, and so let's trade for them. It's pretty rare. Like, World Junior isn't the NHL, right? We've seen duos do great things together in junior, but that doesn't necessarily, Like, who was it? Denny Savard. Who was the other guy? Was it Denny Sear? You know, they had great chemistry together in junior, right? But then that was it. Yeah, Chicago picked them up from Calgary, right? Because they thought, oh, well, Denis Savard and that's the Latois Denis. Remember? Anyone remember the line in junior with the three? Latois Denis, Denis Savard, Denis Sear, and Denis Tremblay, was it? Anyway. Yeah. So they got Denis Sear from Calgary, and he scored 7 goals and 12 goals and was down in the minors again, you know. NCAA championship game, April 11th. Yeah. Yeah. And I've touched on that before, Johnny, that and who knows if they make the championship game, you know. I mean, first seeds get knocked out all the time. Like, he could be sometime between the 4th and 11th. And typically, you don't sign somebody the day after. And if they go to the championship game, they're going to want a couple days off. But it'd be a very similar situation to what Demidov, like, maybe get a game or two in before the playoffs, right? No, I haven't scouted the 7-foot guy. Looking forward to when you were able to put out a scouting report in Belokan. I'm not a goalie guru. Like, I mean, yeah, I can do it, Mark. Oh, you stopped that puck. Oh, you didn't stop that puck. Oh, yeah, you stood up there. Oh, yeah, I can try. I'll do it. I'll do it for you. Don't be expecting Shakespearean scouting report. Well, I mean, you know, what I typically do with goalies is like, here's their saves. I don't necessarily, you know, comment on it because I don't know. I just find that I'm not the guy to, you know. And hey, there are a lot of NHL scouts like that. Like, I have buddies that don't ask me about goalies. We've got our goalie scouts that, and most teams do. Like, they don't, you know, they're regular crossover scouts. They look at goalies, but at the end of the day, the Vance Endos are the ones that go in and, you know, you can identify guys, and then they send in the experts, right? To at the end of the day, it's Rando's call on who. I mean, it's been like that. Like, that was the case under Trevor. It's the case under Nick and Marty, you know. But I will put up his, you know, I'll do that this week, actually, Mark. Put up a and I'll comment on it a little bit, but don't be expecting too much. Didn't the 3 Denny's all have the same birthday too? Yeah, weren't they, like, they're all in the same hospital? The whole works. Like, I think they were all born the same day in the same hospital, And it was like a once in a lifetime type thing, right? Denis Tremblay, Denis Cyr, Denis Savard, and all born in this, all called Denis, all born in the same hospital, same day, and all played on the same line together in junior. February 4th, 61 for Denis Cyr. February 4th, 61 for Denis Savard. That's pretty incredible, eh? It was a once in a lifetime thing, that's for sure. I'm going to look up Denis Tremblay here. February 4th, 1961. Yeah, pretty crazy. Well, it's all good, sir. Stay with your strength. Yeah. Goalies are strange creatures. I could see it would take a certain type of scout for that. Yeah, I mean, I look at them, but I freak, you know. If they can stop a puck, like Luukkonen, I did not like him at all in his draft year because he freaking he didn't stop pucks. But people that apparently know more than me, oh no, he's going to be good. He's 6'4" and da-da-da. He does this, does that. I mean, it took him 5-6 years of struggles and pains, but now he looks like a decent NHL goalie, right? But I wouldn't have touched him with a 10-foot pole based. I mean, I remember, the under 18s, like his save percent, like he let in 2 softies every game. And, how I look at a prospect in that, my main focus is that if they stop pucks, I like them. If they don't stop pucks, I'm not that fond of them. It's pretty rudimentary, but that's all I got. Personally feel a goalie is probably the hardest to predict. Oh, absolutely. That's why so few are picked in the first round. Like, there were years, you can go back and look at draft years. There was a period in the 80s, 90s where, there would be 4 or 5 goalies picked in the first round, some in the top 10, and hardly any of them panned out. Like, it was just rare that any of them did. And of course, Réjean Houle, in his infinite wisdom, oh well, Jocelyn Thibault was a top 10 pick. He must be good. He's gonna be a star. He'll be the next Patrick Roy for the Montreal Canadiens. Yeah. How'd that work out? And they couldn't even get freaking Owen Nolan or what was it, Adam Deadmarsh, or a first-round pick. Oh no, we'll take Kovalenko and Ruchinski. And this goalie that everyone in the league knew should have never been picked top 10. What a disaster that was. The dark days. The Panic by Ronald Corey. Fire Savard and Demers 4 games into the year. Bring in rookie GM, no experience whatsoever. A coach who was in a broadcast booth, 0 coaching experience. But then, just to top it off, bring in two former greats, but no coaching experience. It was the craziest decision ever made by a president of a hockey team. Maybe that's why Jeff Molson was reluctant to hire a president for so long. I hadn't thought of that. Thibault had a cool mask, though. Yeah, he did. Oh, my goodness. And Andrei Kovalenko scored the last goal at the... Was it the last goal at the Forum or the first goal at the Bell Center, or both? That was his claim to fame. But to just, to panic, I would have just said, look, you guys get this patched up, or wait till you absolutely got a deal that you couldn't refuse. But Patrick Roy, how much they could have got for him if there'd have been some patience there, or a GM that wasn't going to get friggin' fleeced. They got their mid-level NHL players and no picks even. It was just crazy. Lotus Man, hi Grant. What team does Simas play for, and is it a competitive league? Yeah. Well, what he's been doing is bouncing back and forth between the Swiss League and the NL, which are the two pro leagues in Switzerland. The last 3 games he's played in the second division, like the Swiss League, it's good hockey. I wouldn't call it, terrific, but what level would you say it's at? Maybe about like Czech League level or Slovakian League level. But he's an 18-year-old kid playing in it and doing well. He's when he played up on he was playing up on the big team, Geneva, and now he's been playing for Thurgau the last couple of games, which is the farm team, I guess. And I think he's played 4 games and has 4 goals and a couple of assists or something like that at that level. But that's at 18 years of age, right? In his draft year. And I mean, just turned 18. It's above the CHL in level. So if he was playing in the CHL, I think he'd be racking up the points. Kid has a really good shot, and he's very competitive and a good skater. 6'3", 200 pounds. Yeah, I think he'd be lighting it up in the CHL, I believe. So, all right, folks, hit the 200 mark here. It's funny, it got back up over 90 people on board here. I just got another. Do other scouts that you talk to think he's a first rounder? Oh, yeah. Definitely a first rounder. Sorry, I just want to check the tennis match here. Oh. All right. I want to catch you into that, folks. 2 hours in. I've answered everybody's question. Anything really quick here before I go? I don't know if I'm going to do. Maybe I'll do a Volokin video tomorrow. Mark, would you tune into that if I... no problem, Mark. Thank you. Thank you for showing up as always. We got a good, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, I'd appreciate it. Every bit helps. Thank you, everyone that's 100% if you do, but no stress if you don't. Oh, it's not that much work. I can certainly post a video of a game with his saves, and I can always add a little bit of commentary to it. I'll do it for you, Mark. I'm curious to see. I haven't looked at him recently anyways, so that's not too big a deal. Okay, Lotus Man, thank you for the compliment. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Johnny. And have a good night, everyone. Go Shop, oh go. Go Canada, go. Yeah, let's hope. Got to start winning some golds here, eh? Jeez. What, the last time it was this late into the Olympics, Albertville? 92? Not having a gold, at least one gold medal by day 6. So come on, Canada. Get rolling there, folks. All right. Thanks again. I'll certainly be doing a show Sunday with Rick, our prospect of the week, our draft prospect of the week. I don't know if I'm doing one tomorrow. Probably not. But so we'll see you Sunday. Okay. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.